excellent health. Cool. Oh, let's go. Boom. 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 Wait, seriously? Of all the times for things to go wrong. There we go. And let's apply that new noise cancelling filter. Cool. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Might as well do this real quick. Now, come on, focus, you stupid thing. I forgot to fill up my drink bottle as well. Yeah, I highly doubt it. Sorry, I'm just really perplexed by this. Like, my focus is really terrible. Right. Come on. Let's see if it will... Okay, I'm just gonna make sure I don't have any offensive on screen or anything. No, I don't. Good. Like, why is my autofocus... Ah! Okay, that's gonna be a little annoying, but we can work with that. There we go! Okay, now I'm not sure how well any of this is going to work, but hey. Yeah, I know. Oh dear. That definitely can't be there. That's actually a commissioned print. So I'm not allowed to show that off. So! 3 viewers. Huh, go fig. But yeah, now you can see my light ring, my setup, my everything. You even get to say my tools. Actually, funnily enough. Well, all the tools I have. Digivice, screwdriver, T-driver, calipers, wire cutters, soldering iron, more cutters, a little spy cam module, a silicon sock, another screwdriver, some screws. You know, all the usual. Ace Inferno Productions! Nice to see ya. Am I coming in clearly? So, yeah, that's all the tools I need. And of course, there's all my stream health stuff and all that. You can kind of see that, yeah, I have a lot going on in my area. And, of course, I forgot to fill up my drink bottle. I can do that later. So, anyway... Actually, I might as well switch from fluffing ducks to something else. Yeah. Kevin McLeod, I actually find some of this stuff quite good. So, yeah. Oh, what was... Good one. Oh, god, no, that's a bit too much. Still picking? Oh, no thanks. Oh, what was that one that we used? Lipstream? I think it was? I'm sorry, one's called Glitter Blast. I have to. Yeah, no, that's Glitter Blast, alright. Oh, dear. Almost you, Loop Surf. Wish I could just play a little sample from the channel. Huh. Honestly, not that bad. Cool. So anyway, the story behind this. Well, let's not show my medication on here. They're just antidepressants. I just thought they were a bit more... Sadly enough, I don't have a big area to actually do a lot of this filming. It's actually kind of one of the things I wanted to do before I started streaming again. But anyway, yeah. Long and short, there's a trash collection coming up, and I like salvaging electronics, and because of new laws and blah blah blah, you know, I like basically, I just like breaking things down. This is a convenient excuse. And I also get to show you guys all the different bits I find. So, anyway, yeah, let's see how we go. So, first things first, this is a multifunction, device, and who could predict that was gonna happen? Who was gonna predict that? I didn't. What happened? Oh my god, my phone overheated. Ow. Jeez. Okay, sorry, give me a few seconds. But I did have a backup cam. It's not the best camera, but I had a backup. So, need to remove this thing because I don't need it anymore. I mean, seriously, it's like test run. Everything was fine, and then this, it's like, nah. Well, I mainly use my phone because it has a 4K camera on it, so it would look nicer. Oh my god, throw it into the hole, jeez. Off to a stellar start, aren't we? Go on the subject of Stellar Star. Dear. Okay, well, plus side with this thing, it's a gorilla pod. I can at least extend the legs up, make up the height that I've lost. Then I can position it roughly, and I just need to plug this. I mean, it's a cheap little webcam, but it'll do. Because, you know, this is why we keep backups or backups. Let me just check. Oh, wow. This needs to go back a lot. Did it just... Don't tell me it's freaking crashed. Of course it did. Ah! Oh, dear. Okay, come on. Deactivate. Activate. There we are. That's a bit better. Let's see. Customize the resolution. Make it at least 720. Let's set it to 24 frames per second. Doesn't matter if this is a bit sluggish and such. I do not miss these technical difficulties. I really don't. Oh god, and that looks horrible. Give me a sec. I know I had a... Damn it, did I throw out my little napkins? Oh no, there it is. Shower cleaner. One of the best things you can use for cleaning lenses. See, most window cleaners leave a film that, you know, scratch up and such. Anyway. Oh. Yeah, no, that's because I haven't set it up for that, because, well, if people want to see the messages, they can watch the chat replay. You know, it's not like I'm having to repost this on YouTube or whatnot. I mean, technically I could set it up, I guess. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, what, glass cleaner? God, window cleaner? God, no. Everyone swears by Windex and all that, but I've found it's been nothing but trouble. Anyway, let's get started on tearing this down. Now, I found with most of these things, you need to just get rid of all the flappy bits. You know, all the bits that are gonna just flap around when you move the thing. So let's have a quick gander. It looks like these are simply clipped in, so should be able to just... Oh, man, really? God, that's actually deforming the body itself. Okay. Let's apply physics. In case you guys don't know, this is my favorite screwdriver. Okay? I've had it for such a long time, I can switch to whatever tool I want. Pop it out, slot it in, and it just works. Now I need one that's a bit thicker, so I need to go to the next step up. There we go. Nah, I wouldn't use something so unreliable. Let's see if we go in. See? Funnily enough, some of the new recycling laws are things like, you know, you can't throw out something that has a power cable or something. It's so stupid. But the loophole for that is, well, this is perfectly fine to throw out, so that goes in the bin. Oh, sorry, bit of belly. Here. Okay, let's see. Okay, that looks like another bit that will just pop up. Maybe? I mean, I'm not planning on putting this back together, so... Doesn't matter if I break a few things. Yeah, that broke. Oh well. Also, with teardowns, what's also always important, having a box where you put bits in and a bin. And don't be afraid to be a bit harsh. With parts, you'd be surprised how common certain parts are. That said, we're now having to get rid of all flappy bits. So I'm looking at this bit here, because that's just going to get in your way. And trying to work out how to pop that out. It looks like... Because you gotta remember, a machine has to have installed this. Oh, there we go. So sure enough... Oh! There, another flappy bit. Gone. Okay. Any other flappy bits? Ah, there we go. There was a hidden flappy bit. I knew there had to be another one. This one looks like the clips for it are actually internal, so I'll save that for when I get in a bit more. Oh, sorry, it's a multifunction printer. One of those cheap ones that you can pick up for like a song, for like nothing at Officeworks for like 20 bucks or something. My housemate bought this. It ran out of ink. He found that the ink was going to cost more than buying a whole nother thing, so he was like, you know what, screw this. I'm just going to buy a whole nother printer. So he did. So I get to take part of this thing. Okay, that seems to be all the bits I can take off right now. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up. Now, see here. This is a power thing. A power brick. What's interesting is it's actually attached in its own separate box. So I'm willing to bet if I remove these two screws, the whole thing will come. And it uses Torx head. Of course it does. Ah, coincidentally, I happen to have a spare Torx head. Actually, let's use my T-driver. My T-driver doesn't get as much love. This thing is actually useful. Got it from, like, the reject shop for, like, $5. It's not so much the rare parts that you're concerned about, it's the common parts that are more useful. Oh, of course, everyone's favorite thing, a little magnet for all your screws to go to. Oh, sorry. Okay. Because you never know when these screws come in handy. But now I can remove this. Another useless part. And boom! Like I said, a power brick. Which actually has all the information I need on the back there. So this is a 100 to 240 volts. See, some places still use 100 volts, like some parts of Japan, I think. America still uses 120 volts, so, you know, close to 100. 240 volts is what we use around here. Now, there's a bit of tolerance, you know, because really it's rare for the power to be exact. Anyway, the output 22 volts at half an amp. Huh. Wow, so this sips power, but it requires high voltage. Interesting. I mean, you could actually take this apart further. I'm not sure. I've not seen a power supply with this sort of form factor, so I'm kind of tempted to keep it. But half a volt, half an amp is, it's nothing. It really is. I mean, I'll put it to one side for now. Well, one side for now. Let's see what else we can take off at this point. Well, I'm having remarkable luck so far with taking this thing apart. Usually I start swearing at some point. Okay. Actually, gonna put that magnet over here in my little tray. Like, seriously, no one's actually asking about the Digivice? And magnets? Oh, EM waves. This is a little cleaner box, I think. Basically, when the printhead cleans itself, it butts up against that and rubs. Not really much useful in one of these. The rubber is nice, but it's not useful. What could be useful is the little springs. Because they maintain things like tension and such. So, you never know. That and, you know, good luck trying to find springs. Yeah, thank you. Someone else. Because I need a Digivice. But you see, that's a nice little compression spring. You know, it's not much, but it might do for, like, shock absorber or something. I'm sure I can find something to use it with. And a little hook spring. A little loop spring, which, you know what? I got this tiny little soldering iron. It's not plugged in or anything, obviously. But it has a nice little tip, and I lost that spring. Felt it hit my hand, I think. But, screw it. The rest of that's useless. Oh, hello. That's OT take down. Hey, Primal Pea Shooter. I'm taking apart a printer. That's not 3D. Yeah, it's just another floppy bit. It must be for, like, paper jams or something. Like, if paper doesn't flow through properly, you can take that out. Uh-huh. Fair enough. On the subject of walker bots, have any of you kept up to date with Balbots? There's a new old bot called Chomp, who's now a walker bot, which is kind of amazing. Another copy bit to throw out. And a little circuit board here. Wonder what that's for. Yeah, it's like Robot Wars, except for, well, American. Okay, this looks like some sort of encoder or something. You know what? Because soldering wires and all that is easy, and honestly, wires aren't that valuable. This little thing is a little encoder. One side has an LED, the other side has a sensor. And the idea is, where's that little soldering iron of mine? Oh, there it is. That something passes between it to break the beam. So a little light beam is shone across, and that something goes in there to interrupt the beam. And when that happens, it tells the thing that something's happened. Usually it's something like, you know, if the beam is interrupted for more than a few seconds, it'll let off an alarm, or whatnot. Or it's meant to have something there. If that's gone, it sets off an alarm. Now, the 3 wires, I'm willing to bet, are yellow, green, and black. I'm willing to bet black is ground. Yeah, it looks like black is ground, maybe? Yes. Ground. No, green is ground. Okay, green is ground. You can often tell that ground is the one that's usually connected to all of them, and you can tell on the back here. Sorry for the out of focus, but I'll try my best. Boom. It goes along there to there and there. So that's probably ground. Yellow would be sense. Yeah, so green is either ground or voltage. Like, it might pull to ground for the signal. Either way, it's actually kind of an interesting thing. I might keep it to one side. Man vs. Machine. I've never actually played that. I've been tempted. Oh! Another little spring. Nice little tension spring. It's a very slight one, but you can tell how light it is. But, you know, you never know. Spring steel is useful. Actually, on the subject of robots and such, I have to show this off, because I need to make the video on it, but I am in love with this little thing. It is my Optimus printer, Baby Blue. It is... It is actually a 3D printer. Like, seriously, it's actually a tiny 3D printer. I bought it a while back, because I needed a little 3D printer for some extra work I was doing. And yeah, this has been actually really great. I love it. I love it to bits. It's Baby Blue, okay? Its name is Baby Blue, okay? Like, its name is Baby Blue, my big printer is Big Orange. People now know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's see. Any other flappy bits come off? Okay, no. Always check the label just in case. I find just rubbing a fingernail is enough. Usually they hide screws underneath it, but not in this case. Okay. Now we look for any extra screws and such. There's one there. I think it's hard to tell. Like, there's a really deep hole. Is this thing... Okay, cool. And, concerning Jetstream, I don't really talk to her much at the moment. Well, not at all. There's been some issues between us in the past. Don't worry, I'm not angry or anything. It's just, you know, things happened. And we had to move on. I mean, yeah, I hope that eventually she'll reach out and talk to me again, but if she doesn't, she doesn't. I just like to know that she's doing okay. Okay. Nope, it looks like there's no screws down there. Like, I wish I could actually show you. Oh, actually, I could. I could if I go, camera. I'm going real high-tech here. Oh no, there is, I think. It's hard to tell what the hell is going on there. But, damn it. You can kind of see that, you know, I have no clue what that is. It looks like an inset screw or something. I don't know. Probably you, because you know Megatron's weakness. Oh yeah, one thing I like about this T-Driver, extendable. So it's really actually useful for like getting into really deep holes. Let's see. It feels like I'm purchasing on something. Nah, it feels like I'm eating into plastic. I have no clue. Okay, anyway, we have 2 screws here, and sorry about that, so let's remove those security bits. Well, it'll be what it be. Not like she doesn't know where I am. So don't worry about it. Let's pop that open and have a gander in here, see if there's any... But I'm not seeing anything troublesome there. Like, you just have to keep an eye out for all the different screws and that, if you can. Let's go around the back and have a look. Okay, there's a little flappy bit that we could probably remove. Look, Nindrago, it's a kid role-playing, okay? Don't panic too much about it. If he wants to roleplay, let him. Okay, now there's screws at the top here, so I should be able to remove these and... Ow. Okay, a little spring just stabbed me. Ow. Hey, Mustafa? Welcome to Techie TearDown. Well, I struggled to get into a cheap printer that cost as much as a Happy Meal. Like, it really actually baffles me when, you know, you can get, like, cheap electronics like this. Okay, there we go. That is 2 screws out. I don't see any others here. This is definitely a sticker, though. So I wonder, can I get that off? No, I can't. Let's see if this... Whoa! So... Okay, that was easier than I expected. What the... Oh, okay. I have a ribbon cable here, so... See, right there? Ribbon cable. What plant is going on about? I honestly have no clue because I'm not keeping up to date with that. Okay, so here we have the control board, which links up with this thing, tells the printer what to do. This would be for the scanner itself. Now we'll save that for a bit later. Let's try and get the big thing out the way first. Now that we're into the... Of course you could open it that way, because you needed to get access to cartridges. Oh no, wait. That's how you access the cartridges. Anyway, I am pulling out the cartridges the wrong way, obviously. Okay. What am I gonna do here? What am I gonna do? I know. We have a bit of paper. Damn it, zip ties all the way over there. I really don't want to get up because, I don't have a lot of room here, so... I'll knock things about. I'm also not exactly wearing the most, concealed of clothing, because it's freaking hot in here. No one needs to see my legs that badly. Yeah. There we go. Have a little box that has... Oh, propellers. Oops. Okay, need to deal with those, but... We'll put the ink cartridges in there. Bit of paper over where the ink comes out. Box, close the box, push in the thing. Oi oi. I'm sure there's someone out there who wants to see my legs, but not that badly, no. Okay, cool. Now, we can start. This is why printers are so cheap now. They're literally barely anything. Now, things... Let's first cover all the different bits in here. So here we have a guide rod that allows the printer to move back and forth. We have this belt, which is used for positioning. Then we have this thing, which might be a bit hard to see. Oh yeah, now you can see it now that I'm pushing it. This is an encoder band. Now it's a bit hard to see, but the band is clear plastic with very, very tiny pixel dots on it. See, the printer itself, printer head, this is what this is, has a reader. It reads this band. And this band tells it where it is. So if it's here and sees a certain pattern, it knows it's at 0. If it's down here, it knows it's at, 240? 240 millimeters? Either way. This is very similar to how a 3D printer would actually work. The belt allows it to move. So you see, yep, belt allows it to move. The rod keeps it stable. And there's something there to tell it roughly where it is. This is the equivalent of a servo. Those little smart motors and all that know their position. Now, 3D printers use something slightly different called a stepper motor. Here's a tiny one I have. This is called a pancake stepper. Although, that said, they do come in different sizes. Here's a big one that I've been wanting to work with. And what it does is it knows that each step is a certain number of movements. So it goes, oh, I've moved 2 steps, that's roughly 1 millimeter. So, yeah. I'm wearing pants, okay? They're just my really, really thin tracky dacks with the legs ripped off. Like above the knee, the legs have been ripped. They look dodgy, okay? That's all. Anyway, back to this. So this is similar. Basically, when it moves, it can tell roughly where it is. That said, this band is not worth keeping. And it's just simply hooked on up here. Oh, come on, baby. We can remove this band here. We can disband it, as it were. Ah, there. Okay. Another little bit, but you can see it actually has data on it. Well, data, it's just really, really fine pixelated lines. It can tell how far it's moved. Then we can remove this belt, which thankfully, down here you can see there's a tensioner. At the factory, they would tension it up to make sure that, if there's too much strain, it bounces a little, so on and so forth. What? Oh, gosh. Please. You see, we can just remove the belt. Boom. Belt's gone. As for this rod, this might be a bit harder to remove. I might have to wait till a later stage to remove that. But anyway, I'm going to lay this down because I actually need to see what I'm doing. Ah. There's a screw there. It looks like they're actually using all the same size security screws. That makes this easier, but also kind of dumb. Oh, come on. There we go. Come on. Ah, there we go. Got the tension spring off, which actually is quite a bit thicker than the other tension spring. It's about the same design. It has that sort of triple band thing, but these are still useful. I might try and keep the belt, so I might keep the belt pulley as well, because that could just be useful. Or I 3D print a new belt pulley. Who knows? Now let's see if I can remove this. Oh, I see how they've kept the guide rod in there. Kind of dumb. Kind of smart, kind of dumb. Basically, they've put a little spring over it to keep tension on it. And they've done the same with the other side, too. Oh. Damn it. Nah, can't get it out because it's as wide as the container, so I have to lift the whole thing out to remove the thing. Which might not be that hard. Let's work on that bit next. Alright, so let's get this control board out because you guys can actually see that. I asked you about transforming character, she doesn't know, and you were like, oh yeah, that... Uh-huh. Honestly, don't really care about that. I mean, Transformers are fun and all, but I am more into the technical stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy the series for what it is, but I also quite enjoy, you know, other forms of media and such. Like, I love, you know, animation in general. Like, oh god. And just how far some of the social commentary and all that in media has come. Like, today I actually tried to watch through Fritz the Cat. And, oh man, Fritz the Cat is actually hard to watch now because of how the language they use. Like, it's meant to be like, it's an R-rated cartoon, so don't watch it unless, you know, you're old enough and such. But some of the language and some of the cultural, dialogue and all that is kind of, oof, you know? You kind of sit there and go, I feel kind of dirty for watching this. Okay, now let's have a look. This is the USB control board, so that is a USB port. It tells the printer, well, it tells the computer what the printer is doing, and vice versa. Let's see. Now, a lot of this stuff is passive components. So, capacitors for smoothing out power. In fact, I'm willing to bet, yeah, it looks like that's the power supply. That was for the carriage motor. Paper motor. Wow, this is actually well laid out. Like, I've come across a lot of these where it's usually not bothered. Either way, I could probably tell you what each part is if I had time, but I'm wagering that that's the motor driver. That little thing, that tells the motors how to work, because it's close to that, and these are power smoothers and such. So, the 22 volts are probably for driving motors. That's probably a bit of onboard RAM, I'm willing to bet. It's hard to say, and that's probably a USB controller because it's near a clock crystal. Yes, there's a little crystal in there to help it oscillate. And that would be like your microcontroller for the USB and all your screens and that. In fact, it looks like a fair number of traces go off here, which is paper sensors. Huh. There's not really much to really salvage off this board, if I had to be honest. Like, USB ports, they're not hard to get. What? You are as filthy as... Okay, Ninjago, you can leave, you know. The fact is, I've studied animation. That's actually one of my majors. I've studied animation. I've studied 3D modeling. I've studied storytelling. Okay? No, I don't look at it and go, ooh, that's a nice bit of animation. I'll look at it and go, actually, that's interesting because of X, Y, and Z. I can go on about color theory, for fuck's sake. If you don't like it, go. You know, I'm trying to talk about electronics, and you're trying to make it sound like I'm a pretentious Nethlotep or something. Yeah, I actually have certifications in animation, web design, and media. I've also have studied game design at university. Believe it or frickin' not. So, you know, when I actually go on about animation and color theory and, you know, different ratios and all that in character design, I actually fucking know what I'm talking about. Seriously. You can actually just go if you have to. You know, I'm not here to be fucking insulted. Hey, Primal Pea Shooter. Anyway, let's have a look-see here. Yeah, none of these are worth saving. Like, the coils are worth a little bit because, well, yeah, they tend to be a bit expensive because of the copper, but that's about it. USB ports, yeah, you're talking about a few dollars each. You know, like, there's nothing here that's really, like, oh, I need to go out of my way to get. Okay. Now, let's see here. I'm actually really insulted with how simple these things are now. You know? It's like, what the hell? Like, I remember taking apart a printer when I was a kid and getting, like, all this metal, fans, motors, all sorts. Now it's like, yeah, you know, I can just get a printer for $20 and get, you know, a couple of motors and a rod. Like, seriously. Yeah, 5 likes. Nice. And 3 concurrent viewers. Yeah, I'm willing to bet one of them is me. Still. Let's see. Well, then. Oh, there we go. The whole carriage has now come out. Oh. Good, there we go. Well, given that I haven't streamed on YouTube for a while, and as far as I can tell, this doesn't count as a Twitch stream thing. Like, character design does, you know, like creative and that, and putting together a computer does, apparently, because that falls under creative, but taking something apart, that's not creative, and it's like, yeah, I can kind of see that. It's more destructive, but then again, would that make Dadaism not art? And, well, Dadaism is the act of defying art, defying rules and such. So to say that this isn't creative is to say that Dadaism, one of the most pure forms of art, isn't art, which some people will argue isn't art because art needs rules. But then again, art with rules is just a thing that could potentially stifle creativity and such. But then again, because we feared stifling creativity, that's why grammar and all that is fucking terrible in schools. Yeah, some bright spark about 60 years ago went, hey, you know all these grammar rules that we barely use and all that? Let's not use them. You know, let's abolish them entirely. And the problem is, years later, now that we're more educated, we're actually needing those rules when we write. So now, at the age of like 20 and onwards, you're having to learn stuff that, honestly, you should have learned in frickin' primary school. Sorry, I also studied teaching. It's also one of the reasons why I didn't like showing my face and all that. Because, you know, if I ever became a teacher, people would be like, oh, I know you, you're so-and-so, you swear online and play video games and such with a girl who thinks she's a jet. And honestly, I gave up on that when I found out that social media is a utter bitch when it comes to privacy and such, and went, well, you know what, if I'm never gonna have privacy, then screw it. Yes, Techie was studying to be a teacher. Let that think in. I was gonna be responsible for kids. Well, teenagers, actually. I was gonna major in math. Well, math and creative design. Not out and out art teacher, though. I kind of hate the whole art teacher thing. Anyway. Ah, there we go. Now we got a motor, which is a smart motor, apparently. Even though it just looks like a basic coil and gearing. Bunch of numbers on it, which I could probably look up and find out a bit more about it. I'm willing to bet it's probably a 12 to 24 volt motor. Most of them tend to be. Still, useful to have. Ah, now we got to this part where... Ah, nope. You see there's C-clips. Those are utter rats to remove, but you can do it. Now, there's actual tools for doing this. Honestly, just get something to wedge into a hole, pull it off, boom, there, done. Now we can pull out the other side. And there, we have a nice straight metal rod. Now you might be like, what is this useful for? It's actually useful for a lot of things. Like, I've cut these up in the past to make structure bits for stuff, or, you know, if you know what you're doing, you can make your own guide rail and all that for motors and such. Really, really useful. This... You kind of sit there and go, yes, obviously there's useful things on this, but it's like, yeah, there's springs. Yeah. There, springs. The most useful part. This, it's like, unless I know how to melt metal, I can't really use that. These, they have little paper rollers, which you don't really need those. Ah, there's another spring. Oh god, yeah. Well, the problem is, one of my favorite forms of art, as you might imagine, is Dadaism, which is anti-art. And Dadaism isn't just making a mess or anything, it's knowing the rules and breaking them. So, like, in this case, obviously, if I you know, was framing this right, then technically, like, okay, art-wise, right now, where I'm talking, like, in the bottom of the screen here, you know, using the big hand to point where I am, you know, there, and, Tina, which, there. Now, obviously, we're angled, so it's like we're talking to each other. But what if I flip us around, so we're facing away from each other, but we're holding a conversation still? Suddenly the rules break. One way is good framing, the other way is bad framing. But what if that's the intent? And that's where Dadaism lies, is knowing the rules so you know how to break them. And that's why I find it interesting, but it is reliant on knowing the rules. If you don't know the rules, then you can't make it work. Well, yes, but then again, a lot of art teachers in the past are artists who failed. Who believe that they failed because someone didn't see their vision or something, and they end up getting a job as an art teacher for very little pay. Of course, now, to be an art teacher, you actually need a teaching degree and such. So, yeah. But that's in Australia, not necessarily elsewhere. Now, anyway, let's... But, yeah. The fact is, I don't like art teachers much either. Yes, I get it. They don't like the art. I mean, it's like people who go, my teacher didn't like anime. You know, my art teacher didn't want me drawing anime style. And it's like, well, yeah, because anime only works if you know the rules. Every mangaka has studied human anatomy. Had to do the basics. Had to do everything. You know, it's not just them going, I'm just gonna pop out and draw in this weird, wacky style, and boom, there's one piece. No, the guy started out drawing probably background art for another artist or something until he was comfortable enough to do his own thing. A lot of art teachers do get some flack based on the bad reputation. Because the problem is, teenagers are defiant by nature. They don't take in everything that they're told. But they immediately go, my art teacher hates me because I drew anime. And the reality, the art teacher probably just hates the fact that all they're drawing is anime and they're not drawing any of the assignments or learning any of the actual techniques. They're just drawing this really bad anime stuff and telling them this, but the teenager interprets it as they hate anime. You know, like, everyone takes, takes different information in differently. Okay, now, here's something interesting. See that thing there? That's the thing that this band would have gone through. Like, you can see that this band would have, if it actually wants to fit, would have gone through there, and, yep, thank goodness I found my napkins. But you see, it goes through there and tells the head where it is. And this ribbon connects to these little jumper things here that help tell it what ink cartridges are loaded in at the time. I now need to try and... I just need to pop this bit of metal off, and I'm just trying to see the best way of doing it. I'll just need to pry this little metal shield up. Boom. There we go. And there we have our belt. That belt is actually kind of useful, because I can reuse the motor with the gears. I could even shrink that belt. Honestly, nothing really worth keeping on this thing. As nice as it is. It's also covered in ink, which... Napkin. What? We're gonna like be like, nah, we're not like a pawn shop or trying to hawk something. It's usually I do this to just get parts that I need for other projects or parts I could potentially use. Okay, looks like there we go. That's there, and yes, jackpot! Check this baby out. Look how tough that spring is. That is useful. That is very useful. I can really use that on something like a remote control car or something. And there should be a second spring. Come on, baby. Come on. Pop! Oh, man, really? Okay, let's just try and wriggle this. Nope. Plastic snips. There. Because everything's my baby. I mean, don't you know, there's baby blue. Baby blue over here, because it's a Yeti blue, with its official Yeti blue pop filter. This is baby cam. No, I don't know why. It's just a thing I do. Like, I always just chant something to myself, you know, come on baby, tell me you're beautiful. Or whatever. Okay, now that I've removed a fair amount of that, you can see how much is left. There's a motor. Oh, great, I touched the ink sponge. Motor, here. Wait. Yeah, there's the motor. And this will be the motor driver, the paper driver, to tell it if the paper is running or not. You can really tell how little F's they gave when they made this thing. Anyway, I'm just gonna pull this bit through. As I said, the wires aren't useful, but sometimes it's nice to have them, just in case. Oh yeah, obviously there's gears down there, which, yeah, that's nice if I didn't have a 3D printer. Yeah, isn't it amazing? Although that's it, we still have the scanner to take apart. You know, the printer is mostly mechanical. Then over time, circuits and all that do shrink down and such. I mean, look at the things like the original Nintendo Entertainment System, the grey box. The circuit board is nearly as big as the box itself. Now we're able to run Nintendo NES games on your phone like nobody's business. This might actually be worth keeping because there's an encoder and there's some sort of encoder wheel thing. So this might be worth keeping. Never know. It's small enough that honestly, even if it's not useful for... I hate that sponge. I'm going to try and remove this sponge here. There's a cleaning sponge down here for making... for the print head to go over and get cleaned on. And honestly, I keep touching it because it's black and I'm not seeing it in this narrow space easily. Come on. Nah, damn it. Yeah, wish I had that drink. No, nothing else does. It's a joke. I just don't know why I say baby. I just do. Maybe it has something to do with locks being such atrocious flirts. And if you get that reference... No. Oh god. Atrociously vain. Right, yeah. Oh yeah, CRT, yeah. I actually have one in the boot of my car at the moment. Not enough someone gave it to me, I was thinking of doing like a composite mod to it, but the amount of time and effort that you have to put in to make that work is just bleh, you know? Ah, there we go. This is the paper feeder. Now, this rod, as you might be able to see, is very rough. It's for grabbing paper. And you see here, remember that band I showed you for the thing to read? Yeah, similar here, but it's a wheel instead. And oh, a little tiny belt. Yeah, the rod is nice and all, but the problem is that this sort of rough part here that doesn't make it good for movement. Oh, that's interesting. Here, see that how one slot is extended and there's a little bit of extension there? This is so that they can tension it. You see, when I can actually demonstrate. You know, let's loosen both screws. See, we can move that down there. So, obviously, installing the belt is a bit of a pain when it's up here, you know, you see? I can't quite get the belt over. If I move it down there, I can get it down here, and boom, tension the belt on. So that's how they would have done it in the factory. It's interesting, but, you know, not what we're here for. Let's keep these little screws because they're often useful. Oh, they've even made it so you can actually remove the bottom screw, one screw entirely, and have it drop down even further. That's actually nice. And yep, very similar motor. Says 2223. So I'm willing to bet it's like 22 volt or 23 volt. It's gotta be decent. What's nice about these motors is they have screws on the top. Not every motor has these screw holes. That makes it easy to mount them. In fact, I have actually taken one of these motors in the past and made a water pump for my broken aircon unit. I had an aircon unit that didn't have a proper water pump inside it. It was meant to like pump water into its tank, and it never did. So I actually 3D printed a water pump and stuck a motor on it to siphon the water off into a bucket next to it. Beyblade launcher, yeah. Yeah. God, I miss Beyblades. I know it's still on, but it kind of feels like it's gone a bit too far out for me. Okay, now I got a wire here, and I'm trying to work out how to get to it. Maybe I can... You know what? Screw it, it's just a wire. You know? I mean, yeah, there's a lot of little bits in here and probably little springs and such, but it's not worth breaking the bank over. I mean, as you can tell, I've already got old ink all over my hands. So let's now do the scanner bed. Which looks fairly straightforward, actually. I think. Not really seeing much in the way of screws, other than the ones there, which, honestly, let's remove those. Holy bumpkiss! It actually is a different size screw! Oh my god! I actually now have to try and find a different screw head. Is it this one? It still looks like security torps. Nah, smaller than that. Maybe that one? Security Torque's heads look similar to Allen key heads, but they have like sharp star bits. Okay, cool. That fits. So now we get my WoW stick. Now let's see how cheap these buttons are. I'm predicting that these are really gonna be cheap, like the capacitive stuff is on the actual sticker that's on top. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh no, these are actual clicky buttons. That said, they're like, you know, barely $1 each, so realistically not worth keeping. I mean, technically, if I could, like, work out the pinout, like, actually, is there any passives or anything? Oh, there's resistors and a few LEDs, but yeah, no, if I can map out this bit, I could make this into like a control panel for something. Like I could like attach it to the side of a screen or something and have these buttons actually do something else entirely. You know what? That actually could be useful because that's a circuit board I don't have to make. Ah, okay. Need to just pull this up and this forward. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. There you are. You're beautiful. A Ferris filter. See, as power goes through wires, it emits EM, electromagnetic fields. So, that's what these are used for. They're for disrupting that electromagnetic field to stop it from interfering with other wires or motors, or even having motors and that interfering with them. And there we go. That's why I can't open it. There's a snap. Yep, there's snaps all over the place, actually. And yes. I mainly got it because I was interested in electric screwdrivers, because, you know, given how small this is, it's like, is it really powerful enough to be a decent screwdriver? Like, I've had, like, you know, hand drill, like, electric screwdrivers, and it's like, yeah, they're alright. Ah, there we go. And there we have a sheet of glass. Not really sure about that. Oh, wait, it's clipped in. Okay, cool. Sheet glass can actually be quite useful, especially if you know how to cut glass. See, one of the projects I want to do is make a teleprompter, and one of the best ways to do it is to have a screen and a sheet of glass to act as a mirror, so in front of the camera it projects the text. It's really useful, and honestly this would save me like $2. Like, I could literally go down to a Glazier's near me and buy one for like $2, but yeah. Anyway, here's the other part, the scanner itself. Now the scanner is actually a, from what I understand, it's like a camera, but its sensor is stretched. What it does is it moves a little bit at a time. Come on, don't make me a liar. Oh, whatever. Oh, it's locked up. Okay. Well, either way, as it moves up and down, it takes a photo. So, photo, and boom, done. And that's how it scans. So, yeah. It's actually kind of interesting. No real use for it. I've heard of some people grabbing these and turning them into, like, special lamps or something, but it's like, it's a lot of effort for... Well, let's say so, I have a roll of LEDs over there that I got for, like, $10. Oh, yeah. But it's a lot of thin photos, like, literally, like, a pixel wide, or a pixel tall photo. Anyway, we'll take this part further. Let's just say that there's nothing else in there. Boom, done. Okay. Now, to pull this cable out. Another ferrous filter. Ribbon cables themselves aren't really that useful. I mean, if it's proprietary or whatnot, it's nice, but... Like, I've kind of thought of soldering directly onto the contacts themselves and using them like wires, but it's like, when do I need a wire this long? If I need a wire this long, I'd cut a wire this long. Okay, let's... Guzzy and Gander. Oh, okay, that's cute. Ah, cool, there is a screw. I just kept overlooking it. Ah, Moonrise Midnight! Hello, hello, hello! How are you doing with your lovely self? And that's not that late for me, it's like 10:30 at night. Oh, actually, on that note, housemates haven't made dinner yet, so it's like, oh... I might be having to order out at this point. Honestly, it's been stinking hot today. Like, the whole house is hot. Like, the only reason I'm not is because I have an aircon right next to me, and that's struggling. Okay, screws, because screws are just useful. Okay, and there we have a motor with... Oh, this could be fun to reverse engineer. Okay, you see, there's a motor. Part of its axle comes out the back and runs this little encoder wheel. This tells it how many steps it's taken. Okay, remember how I said stepper motors do that? This is a worm drive. So as it spins, it moves a gear. So if it needs to move forward like 2 steps, it goes 1, 2. And this tells it, yep, you've moved 2 steps, or, oops, you've moved 1.5. You need to move a little bit more, or a little bit less. Looks cool on what you're doing, Techie. Well, thank you. Thank you. But you see, this could be very useful as a servo, because I could always pull this worm drive off and replace it with something else. And this is a standard, I want to say 5-volt motor. I've seen these in toys all over the place. So I could probably reverse engineer that, no problem. So that'll go in my motor pile. So far I have 3 motors. One of which already has a servo stuff attached to it. There's not really much else I would grab from this, but let's dismantle it further just to prove my point. Now, there's springs on this to actually make sure that this is continually pressed against glass when it scans. So, trying to work out how those get on and off. I usually don't have problems with getting off. Now, that clips back on. Oh no, wait, did that? No. Could I... This way? Oh, there we go. And now we... Yep. Then I'm going to go on about the next thing I'm going to be doing for the channel. Okay, little tension springs. Okay, anything interesting here? Not really, but here's that big ass... gear that the worm drive would drive. In fact, if I hold it in place, you can kind of see what it's meant to do. As that spins, that moves that. And that interfaces with a with the ratchet on the plastic to move this back and forth. Not a bad system. It's not the type of system I like. It's a bit too cheap, but eh. Oh, another little spring. There we go. And yeah, I could save the gear, but again... And here we have the scanner head. And it looks like... Oh, okay. This is something I don't really see that often, but it looks like it's actually plastic welded. See, instead of little tabs over, they've just melted a bit of plastic over to hold it in place. So, that makes this a bit troublesome to get out in one piece. But if I... Because I don't... Because I have no point, no reason to keep this scan head. Scanner heads aren't really that useful in the grand scheme of things. Like the little screens you can get from printers and from cheap printers are more useful. So anyway, there we go. Bump. Yeah, cool. That has nothing on it. Damn it, come on. Like, really? Oh, Okay, see, this bit here is actually a prism. So the scanner goes up and this prism out that way, so... maybe I could just remove the prism itself, I mean... Maybe that'll help me a little. Oh, there we go. One. Come on, baby. Don't make me a liar. Is it on a screw? Nah, doesn't look like it is. Gotta remember, a lot of multifunction printers now are built extremely cheap because they make their money on the ink cartridges now. They don't care about the electronics. Like I realize they're able to pick up a lot of these electronics for, like, cents per part. Like, not even cents. Like, parts of cents. Oh, there we go. Oh, it was stuck in. It actually had a bit of, sticky tape. Ugh, ew. But you can see that's the little prism thing. I'll see if I can't dismantle it out of the casing a little. It looks like I've buggered the casing. Meh. Who cares? It's not useful. You think of... sorry. Really dry mouth, because I forgot to fill up my drink bottle. So after this stream, I am definitely drinking a lot of water. Come on, baby. Come on. What the heck are you attached to? Bit of plastic just hit my lip. Oh, there we go! Okay, actually, where's that sensor? Now we're cooking with gas. It's nighttime for me. Okay, see, there's a little camera sensor right there. Right there. Okay? Bit hard to see, but it's that little tiny square there. What this does is it sits in front of it and it warps the camera sensor. Like, this is basically a giant lens. All it's doing is stretching that camera sensor to view everything here. It's the equivalent of me putting a magnifying glass in front of the fisheye lens in front of the webcam so you can see more of the area. This just extends laterally. So yes, this was part of a scanner. That said, as fascinating as this is, it's like, yeah. Funnily enough, most of this is pointless. Most of this board is just pointless. Or is it? No, I think it's pointless. Like, there's a little control chip up there, which probably drives the camera sensor. And that's where everything plugs in. And from the looks of it, very few of the traces go down this end. Feels like there is some resistors or something. But they're really, really tiny. And they don't interact with this thing at all. Yeah. Yep. So, as I said earlier, I don't think you were here for that. What it does is it moves along and it just takes a photo every pixel. It's like photo, 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 blah, blah. Once it's done, the scanner itself, its control board or whatever, well, actually probably the software on your computer, puts all those together to form a page. And that's how scanners work. No, they're really freaking simple. They're just sensors. And there we go. So let's recap. We have a sheet of glass, which, it's nice. It's nice to have a sheet of glass. A motor with an actual encoder wheel on it, so might be able to use that as a makeshift servo if I know what I'm doing. Or at least if I pretend to know what I'm doing. A motor. Another motor. A couple of little sensors, which could be useful. A lot of these ferrous filters. A circuit board with switches on it, which, honestly, it's such a basic circuit board, I could reverse engineer it and use it for different buttons. Another encoder sensor thing. A metal rod! Actually no, sheet of glass roughly this size, probably $6. Yeah, I've had to buy sheets of glass on my 3D printer in the past. Little motor belt. Big motor belt. And a whole load of springs, which I'm not gonna bother with. And this Digivice. That just... I don't know why that always just turns up. So anyway, let's grab out my parts box. So I'm trying to keep things organized. So whenever I can, I'm gonna try and sort things out straight into a parts box. So, motors can go into their own area. Circuit boards can go into their own area. Motor belts. These thin ones can probably go into their own area. Because I have a thick one for my 3D printer. You won't stay in there, and you... Well, I'm trying. I mean, see those blue boxes over there? Those are meant to be my project boxes. And, yeah, well, I lost something that's meant to be in one of those project boxes, and it's like, where the frick is it? Okay. Ferrous filter. Another circuit board. Let's go springs. Other spring. Like, this is kind of probably going to be the more boring part. But, yeah, spring, tension spring, compression spring, ferrous filter can go in there. Screws, those can be part of my... Oh, yeah, there's another little spring. There's a number of times I've needed a little spring for something. spring, tension spring, compression spring. Oh, pulley. I'll put that with the motors. Another spring. I swear there was a big Ferris filter that I pulled off. Ah, there it is. So, there we go. Even more organized. Oh no. The sheet of glass had sticky stuff on it, so it actually stuck to my desk. Either way, this could be potentially useful. I mean, that and honestly, I want to throw it out separately to make sure it doesn't shatter, or at least doesn't shatter in my bin. Because, you know, glass is a pain in the ass to get rid of. But let's go on to the next, more interesting part of this video. The magic bag that my brother gave me. Missing, I think, one transformer at this point. But in the past, I've wanted to do a Transformers repair sort of thing, where I grab a transformer, I try and repair it, and even make parts available online, so people who, if their transformers suffer the same fate, can repair them themselves. So anyway, oh, actually, I think I might be missing another transformer that's meant to be in here. Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. But my brother has a massive Transformers collection. And, the problem is, over time, he's just collected a bunch of broken ones from, like, secondhand stores and that. So, you know, we have things like, I don't remember this guy's name, but he's an Insecticon. I think what he's missing is his feet and part of the face part here. I'm not sure about remaking the face part, because it requires me to stick it onto some old plastic, but we'll see. Oh no, I think he's meant to also have wings. Shrapnel, okay. Yeah, his name's Shrapnel. Go fig. But, you know, he's meant to turn into a bug. I think. Oh, there we go. Oh no, it looks like there's also bits missing from the back of his hand, so I think he's meant to have, legs or something that come off the back of his hands. Either way, I want to, like, tidy it up, clean it up, and all that. So, shrapnel? This guy is... Well, okay, to give you some idea, whoever had this lost, tried to put them together with a bit of wire. But... Oh no, this guy's a headmaster! So, one of the Decepticon ones? Ah, Nindrago could probably tell me. Oh man, this guy's stiff as anything. Actually, I don't think these legs are meant to move. Nah, they don't. Wait, his name is Horrible. Now, thankfully, here, it doesn't look like he needs much. He just needs a new shaft thrown through there. Oh no, there needs to be a little bit of repair there, and a tail. Horrible. Oh, God, it's just... why? But anyway, so this guy doesn't look like he needs much. He can probably be done in a little bit, I don't know. It's hard to say. I might actually need epoxy sculpt for that. This guy, I am not sure about. He's like a weird seeker thing. Like, I kinda don't get how his transformation is meant to work. Like, I think it's like... Boom. Wait, this is Dirge? Okay. But, yeah, I think he's missing a lot of parts. And, let's face it, it looks like someone's chewed the cockpit. I'm not sure how I'm going to repair that. But, from the looks of it... Does his legs pull out? I mean, there's his feet. It feels like his legs don't pull out, actually. Probably gone. Okay. Yeah, that's swiveled around there. Ah! Parts formers. Okay. That kind of makes sense. So, it looks like his transformation is basically these swing around out. This goes... down, around... and boom, I think? Like, is that how he's meant to look? Like, what, his wings attached to his arms to form his hands or something? Huh. Doesn't really look much like a cone head. Like, okay, there's the fact that the cone part is... Like, what, it's meant to stay up like that, or go down like that? Because it's like, that actually looks alright, that looks stupid. But, eh. But, honestly, if he's a parts former, we might have some better luck with him. Pull this cone part up. So it's meant to sit up like that. That seems really dumb to me. Like, this actually looks kind of cool to me. Like, he has this sort of, like, side thing. Either way. Like, now that I know who it is, I can look up images and such. That's part of the problem, is trying to work out whom is who. Okay. There's this guy, whom I do not know either. Oh, I see. Oh, a European one. Well, it looks like all he's really missing is one of his hands. Which, thankfully, he already has one there, so... Oh, no, hands and a door. Well, part of a door. Ugh, that's gonna be a iffy one to put back together. Probably also looks like he has something that's meant to clip on the back here, so I might make a custom gun or something. Either way, it'll be nifty. Yeah, we have another Insecticon who is... Ah, okay. Kicker or something? I don't know, but his chest is missing. Ah! Oh yeah, that's right, Turbo Masters! Right, yeah, those were a thing. Yeah, okay, now I'm missing actually 3, because there was another Turbo Master in here. The one that I asked you about way back in the day. But yeah, there's his, I might actually have to say it, this guy might be a bit too far gone. Like, I could probably repair the chest piece, maybe. But I think he's meant to have a lot more to him. Not sure. We'll have to see. A bot that probably doesn't need an introduction, but we're going to introduce him anyway. Jazz. Looking about as good as he did in that first Transformers live-action movie. Oh, though that said, I do prefer his Japanese name, Meister. I mean, that's why in the server I call myself Tech Meister. Feel that jazz. Feels like something's meant to force his head to stay up or something. It's weird. He has this, like, pivoting waist bit that I can't seem to make sense of. Oh, I see, I think. Meant to, like, click or something? Ah, there we go. Yeah, it clicks back. Yeah, the white plastic has turned yellow, but I know about retro brighting. I watch a lot of videos about repairing retro computers. And yeah, I could probably use retro brighting to clean that up. It's just a lot of the other parts that have to be recreated. So, yeah. Most likely the engine piece. Yeah, probably. It looks like something is meant to, like, slot in the back. Oh, no, it's doors. You know, how they become, like, little wings. So they probably, like, click up into there. Yeah. That's gonna be the fun part, actually researching some of this stuff. I mean, thankfully his legs and that are still fine. And I'm actually kind of surprised how much articulation he has. Like, he can actually really pose his arms around. Huh. Cool. Anyway, okay, we're on to the last couple. Oh. Well, honestly, if you didn't know who this guy was, then Drago needs to hand in his Transformers fanboy card. Yeah, but headmasters are kind of interchangeable, so I'm not going to panic too much. Yep. With his very prancy legs. Whee! But yeah, he's definitely missing his arms. So that's gonna be a pain in the tuchus to deal with, but not the most unreasonable thing. No, he still has his nose cone. And it doesn't look like there was anything else on the end of there. I just folded it down. So, he is mostly in one piece. Wait, he's meant to have a spike? Well, I'm sorry, this is rubbery, so... You know, a spike on the end of there would, Really? I said it's rubber. This nose cone is rubber. I can't imagine them suddenly sticking metal on there. That doesn't seem like a good idea. That would have come off in no time flat. He still even has his landing gear. Heard that's one of the parts that actually can break off easily. Ah, okay. Yeah, it still has the reveal the shield thing, which honestly I think has just largely stopped working. Does he have a peg hole on him? Whereabouts should I be looking for said peg hole? The rub sign. No. No, that's a screw hole. There's no peg hole. So, no, that... Yeah, obviously where a screw is. So he's not a target master or anything. Nah, don't think it is. I mean, unless the peg holes are meant to be on his wings, at which point, no clue. Either way. Now onto, this, slug, or slag, or whatever his name is now. Well, he's missing one of his legs. Oh, Stomp. Then which one was, slag? Oh, we had the Triceratops, right. Okay, the extendy waist. A lot of stuff is just broken off this guy. Oh. I see. What the? It looks like there's something that's meant to fit in his chest. Yeah, he's missing a leg. I swear it looks like something's meant to fit in his chest here. Don't know what. I do have part of his tail here. Which is... Oh, I think I see. Yeah, the tail... Okay. Well, I got one tail. And it looks like actually some super glue and that will just fit. In fact, that just flips back on. Yeah. Well, I mean, don't forget that, you know, Transformers basically grabbed an entire toy line and tried to make it all work together and such. You know, like 3-4 toy lines and merge them all together. So honestly, it doesn't surprise me that there might be like little things like, hey, there's some, you know, body. I mean, come on, Perceptor had a tank form. But yeah, he's missing several parts, including a whole leg, headpiece, all sorts. There's just a lot of bits missing off him. Yeah, yes, I know, but headmasters can be interchangeable and all that, and it's more repairing the Transformer as it is, not necessarily... Yeah. And of course, the one that doesn't need an introduction, but needs... Actually, honestly, this Prime might be a lost cause. Honestly. I mean, we're missing a leg. We're missing an arm. We're missing hands. We're missing a head. Oh, bloody. Blimey. We're actually missing screws. Oh my god, there's meant to be like 2 screws in there. So, oh, not to mention the whole frickin' trailer. And, the little robot to go inside the trailer, and... It's like, yeah, let's just call this one a lost cause, honestly. Oh no, this is my brother's parts prime. Right. No, he collected so many primes in the past that he actually sat down one day, apparently, and took all the broken ones apart and rebuilt a bunch of good primes out of all those. Yeah, I mean, there's that Turbo Master that I showed you a while back. The blue one with the pink windshield, I think. There's a GoBot. Actually, if I can see him from here. And Blur. Now, Blur was going to be my first, but I can't find Blur anywhere. Just give me a second. Maybe I can find the GoBot. I doubt it, but I find nah, it doesn't seem to be there. Boss, I think. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, nah, can't find the GoBot, which, doesn't matter. So yeah, these are all the junk figures. And I'm going to attempt to repair them. Or, you know, improve them, or whatever. So that's at least the plan. Not sure how well that's going to work. Not sure how long it's going to take. But hey, you know, have fun trying to do it. Well, okay, the first main step would probably be to... That's actually the very good question. It's like, how? How do you start? I think the main thing is to get photos of what they should look like, work out the parts I'm missing, and work out how hard it is to recreate those parts. So, sort of like, let's look at Cyclonus. He's realistically just missing his arms. So, you know, let's see how hard his arms are to make and such, and then, you know, take photos of the figure, put it into a program, and start recreating the arms and such. Then, you know, 3D print, test, so on and so forth. In fact, Cyclonus might be the best first one to try, because I'm not needing to make plates or anything. Like, something like Jazz, I feel, is difficult, because it's not only entire parts of him missing, there's parts that are cracked as well, so I have to repair those. He needs retro brighting, repainting. So, yeah. So, there's a lot to do. As I said, it's just work out where to start and how to finish. Yeah, sure. How about I, you know, grab this glass bed and automate some slides and all that, have bits like slide over to show that we're scanning the damage. Actually, I could probably do that. Won't be that hard. Anyway, I've now been streaming for a bit over 2 hours. I am thirsty. I am hungry. I really want to wash my hands. I really do. Like, I don't want to touch much else. But the Transformers are fun, because we were going to have to clean those anyway. But yeah, I'm like trying to brush hair out of my eyes, and I don't want ink smears all over my face. So, anyway. I've been Techie, that's been Tina. Well, that's been Tina. And you've been fantastic, and I'll see you all next time. Remember, subscribe, like, and all that. And, yeah. Take care.